Curse of the Werepony 2, Chapter 3, Responsibilities, by Stephen Little. My Little Pony and all associated characters are copyright by Hasbro. The door of the Peach Pit Tavern swung open, ringing the small bells that hung above the door. The tavern was not an overly large establishment. There was a sitting area for customers to enjoy a meal and a drink by themselves or with a friend. A small stage sat against the north wall where bands, comedians or actors would perform. Against the far wall was a full bar with a line of stools in front. To the right of the bar was a hallway that led off to rooms that ponies could rent should they need a place to stay for the night. Behind the bar, waiting to attend her customers, was Peach Bellini. The mare's mane and tail were brown and the color of her coat was obviously her namesake. Her cutie mark looked like a tropical drink and she always seemed to have a red rose in her hair and a silk scarf around her neck of one color or another. She smiled as Spike walked in the door. "Afternoon, Spike. Oh, and happy birthday." "Thanks, Peach. Do you have time to talk?" he inquired. "Sure, what's up?" she asked. Two young stallions, one red and one an amber color, walked in from the back room. "Hey boss, we just finished unloading today's order from the delivery wagon. Did you want to check over the invoice before we put it away?" the red pony asked. He was not overly tall, but certainly taller than Peach, and his blue eyes were partially hidden by his blonde mane. His cutie mark of an apple cider jug gave away his profession as a bartender. "Thanks, cider," she said. "Just a minute, Spike, I'll be right back." The amber stallion with a brown mane and tail and a cutie mark of a cactus wearing a chef's toque approached the bar, his green eyes shining and happy. "Hey Spike, how's it going, bud?" "Hey Sandy, I'm doing okay, I guess," the little purple dragon said with a sigh. "What's going on, buddy? You sound depressed," Sandy asked him. "I've been looking for a job, but no one will hire me. They all say the same thing. I'm too young, I'm too small. What's a guy got to do to earn a few bits these days?" Peach and apple cider walked in from the back room. "Sorry about the wait, Spike. We didn't mean to eavesdrop, but are you really looking for work?" Peach asked. "Wait," apple cider said. "Don't you work for Twilight?" "Being Twilight's assistant doesn't pay at all. Something unexpected has come up and I need to start bringing down a steady pay," he informed them. "You guys wouldn't happen to be hiring, would you?" "Sorry, Spike, but winter is starting and that's also the start of the slow season for us, and business doesn't usually pick up till late spring. If you can wait that long, I'm sure we can find something for you," Peach told him. "Thanks, Peach, but I need something sooner than that," he said as he got up and walked towards the tavern's exit. "Good luck, Spike. I hope you find something," Sandy said as the young dragon walked out the door. "I don't like this, boys. I don't know what's really going on, but it doesn't sound good. I'll put the inventory away. I want you two to get down to the library and talk to Twilight about this." "Sure thing, boss. Let's go, Sandy," Cider said as he made his way towards the front door. Spike stood at the front gate of Sweet Apple Acres. "Well, Spike, this is the only place in town you haven't tried," he said to himself. "If this doesn't work, I guess I'll have to try back in Canterlot." The small dragon walked down the dirt road lined with towering apple trees on the left and bordered by a wide open field to his right.
"Hey, Spike, what brings you down to the farm today? Aren't you supposed to be having a birthday party at the library?"
Big Macintosh had spotted him on his way to the barn to deposit a cartload of apples.
"I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Some pony needs to work the farm."
"It's okay, Big Mac. The party's over anyway, at least for me," Spike said. The large red earth pony stallion unhooked himself from the cart and approached the small dragon.
"Why don't you come inside for a bit?"
Macintosh invited.
"I need to take a break anyway."
Spike followed him inside and sat at the table. "Has Applejack returned yet?"
"Not as such,"
he said, rummaging in a cupboard above the sink.
"She was here, then took off again in a hurry. She was looking for you. I suspect something happened at the party."
"You could say that," the dragon said, tracing invisible patterns on the table. Big Macintosh set a bottle of apple brandy on the table with 2 glasses. "What's this for?"
"AJ told me you liked this when you had to drink with her and Pinky, back when you were a pony. I'll figure what's going on back at the library, and whatever got you this done can only be helped by a drink with a friend," he said, pouring a small amount of the amber liquid into the glasses. "So why don't you tell me what's going on?"
Spike gulped the liquor in a single quaff. Rarity's pregnant and I'm the father. Macintosh swallowed his drink, coughing slightly.
Come again?
AJ told you about what happened a few months ago, right? The purple dragon asked.
Yeah, she told me that some sort of curse turned you into a pony and that you and Rarity got into it. To be honest, I always thought it was pretty bad the way she treated you sometimes. I guess everything came out then.
Yes, Spike said. She didn't know it was me at the time, but I did eventually forgive her and she's treated me much better ever since, even though I'm not a pony anymore. That last night I was a pony, she and I went out on a date. One thing led to another and it just sort of happened.
Good thing for you, Spike. Rarity is a fine mare and I know of a few stallions that are plenty mad that you got her instead of them.
The large red stallion said with a smile.
So I take it she told you at the party?
Yeah, she did. It's not that I've never thought about having a family with her. In fact, I've been thinking lately if it was even possible. I really am happy about it, but it's just a lot earlier than I expected. Spike said, swallowing the rest of his second drink.
I understand, Spike. Ma told me she felt the same way when she was carrying me. She was only 18 when I came along. She told me it was hard, but her and her pa managed.
Big Macintosh told him.
So then, if you're happy about being a father, why are you here instead of back home with your mare?
Because I need a job, Big Mac. Rarity shouldn't have to shoulder all the financial responsibility by herself. She's already taking care of Sweetie Belle. I need to help. I want to do the right thing.
I can respect that. I'm proud of you, Spike. A lot of stallions in your position would have run off and ignored their duty.
Big Mac told him.
I have to tell you though, I don't think you're gonna find any work around Pony&Wolf this time of year. Things are pretty slow right now. I'd offer you do some work for me around the farm, but applebucking season came early and me, Caramel and AJ have it nearly done already.
He apologized.
How far along is she anyway?
Rarity told me her due date is in 8 to 9 months. Spike told him.
Well then, you have plenty of time. Give it 4 or 5 months and then go looking for work again. By then Winter Wrap-Up will be keeping every pony busy and I'm sure a pony or two will have work for you.
The red farm pony said.
In the meantime, you should get back to the library and let every pony know that you're okay, and if you haven't already, you had better let Rarity know how you feel. The last thing you want is for her to think you ran out on her.
I will, but there's just one place I want to try first. Thanks, Big Mac. I appreciate it.
Alright, but are you sure you're okay to walk? You've had 4 glasses of the stuff.
He asked. Yeah, I'm okay. You know, I don't think alcohol affects me as a dragon. I feel fine. It's still good, though. I'll see you around, Big Mac. Rarity sat sobbing on the sofa, surrounded by her friends. He left. He just left. I don't understand. She cried. We were just talking. He was worried that we'd never be able to have a family together, and when I tell him I'm pregnant, he gets up and leaves.
I'm certain everything is gonna be alright, Rarity, Emerald told her.
She's right, Rarity. Don't go jumping to conclusions. That's Twilight's job, Pinkie Pie said. Hey! Twilight objected. Did Macintosh say anything when you checked with him? Fluttershy asked.
I told you what he told me. Spike hadn't been to the farm, but if he shows up, Mac said he'd tell him to come home.
Applejack repeated. Twilight went to answer a loud knock at the front door. Opening the door, she found Apple Cider and Sandy waiting on the other side. Hi, boys. Is there something I can help you with?
Hey, Twilight. Peach sent us over here.
She was concerned about Spike. Did you two have a fight or something? Sandy asked her. Spike? You've seen Spike? Rarity asked frantically, racing to the door. Sandy jumped behind Apple Cider, using him as a shield against the upset mare. Where is he? Where is that no-good dragon?
We don't know,
Cider told her.
He came in looking for a job. He said he'd been all over town looking for one. Peach told him we didn't have anything open and to try back in a few months when business picks up again. Then he left. That's when Peach told us to come talk to Twilight about it.
A job? But Spike works here. Why would he be looking for a job? Twilight asked. Well, Spike told us that you don't pay him and something come up recently that requires a great deal of money. He left the tavern after that. We don't know where he went, Sandy said from behind his friend. But why would he do that? Spike doesn't need a job. I make enough bits for all of us, Rarity said, trying to make sense of the turn of events. Maybe Spike wanted to buy something for the new baby, Fluttershy suggested. But if he had wanted to do that, all he had to do was ask me. I'd have given him the bits, the Lavender Unicorn said.
I suppose I could shed a little light on this,
Becky Macintosh said as he cantered up to the library.
Cider, Sandy, you all best get back to the tavern. I can take it from here.
The two stallions gratefully thanked him and galloped off.
I take it Spike came by the farm looking for work?
Applejack asked.
Oh, yep, that he did, and I had to turn him down.
But why?
I take it he hasn't come back yet, son. Well, he did say he wanted to check out one more place, but darn it all, he should have been back by now.
The red earth pony said.
Macintosh, please answer my question.
Rarity pleaded with him.
That little dragon of yours has it in his head that he has to support you and the little one. Yeah, he told me about it. Congratulations, by the way.
Macintosh told her.
But that's ridiculous,
Rarity said.
I never expected him to do any such thing. He doesn't have to.
Drakes, Emerald said, exasperated, covering her face with a hand and shaking her head.
Well, that makes sense. How can that possibly make sense?
Twilight asked.
He doesn't need another job for that. All he's ever had to do was ask. I'm sure something could be worked out. Maybe that's the problem, Twi. Maybe Spike's tired of having to ask your permission to do everything.
Rainbow said.
What are you talking about?
Twilight asked her.
Think about it. Spike wants to buy a cupcake, he has to ask you first. If he wants to take out Rarity for dinner, he has to ask you. Now he's going to be a dad, and guess what? He still can't do a thing without checking with you first.
She kinda has a point, that Twi.
Applejack added in.
I know you think of him as a little brother, but you have to understand that he's grown up and now he has other responsibilities. That he does, and I respect what he's trying to do, but I told him that no pony was going to hire him since work is kind of slow this time of year.
Macintosh said.
I suggested that he go home, but it looks like the stubborn little dragon didn't listen. Where do you think he went?
Applejack asked.
No idea, sus.
I have a way of finding him, the doctor said, heading for the door. I'll bring him back, I promise.
You're not going anywhere without me,
Rarity demanded.
Or me,
Emerald said.
Or me,
Ditsy said, hugging the doctor.
Could you watch my muffin, Fluttershy? Yes, I'd love to,
Fluttershy said. Fine, you can come, but the rest of you have to stay here. We'll be back in no time. The three ponies and one dragon traveled as fast as they could back to Ditsy Doo's home at the very edge of the Whitetail Woods. Running around to the back of the mailbox-shaped house, they stopped in front of a large blue rectangular box.
Is this it?
Emerald asked.
How is this blue box supposed to find my little brother?
Step inside and all your questions will be answered, the doctor said as he and Ditsy walked in.
But there can't possibly be room for all of us in there,
Rarity protested. Ditsy poked her head out the door.
Will you two get in here already? We can't do anything till the door closes, sillies.
Emerald and Rarity cautiously stepped inside and marveled at the enormity of it all. The room was enormous. All around were ramps leading to a central platform. With all the switches, dials, levers, and other miraculous odds and ends, the two visitors could only conclude it was a control center.
How can this be?
Rarity asked.
This can't be possible. It's smaller on the outside.
That's what I said, Ditsy confirmed. Emerald looked up and saw a spiral staircase leading up and up to an impossible height.
This breaks every law of science I've ever learned.
Yes, well, that's all well and good, but we're here to find Spike, not look at the scenery, the doctor said as he ran around the central control panel, flipping switches and spinning two wheels, then pulled a lever. There we go. I have a single dragon life sign just north of town.
Where?
Rarity asked, rushing up the ramp. Over here on the screen. Simply odd. What's up there? Why would Spike go there?
The only thing up there is an old quartz mine. I used to go up there all the time for crystals the customer wanted for a gown. It's nearly 3 in the afternoon. He's probably hungry. He's always hungry this time of day,
Rarity informed them.
Has Spike ever eaten quartz before?
Emerald asked.
Not to my knowledge. Why? I mean, one gem is like another to a dragon, isn't it?
Rarity asked.
No, quartz crystals aren't like other gems. Most gems are used for food, but quartz affects dragons like alcohol affects you. The higher the crystal's clarity, the stronger its effect.
Emerald explained. She could see the anxiety building on the white unicorn's face.
I'm sure Spike, as young as he is, doesn't realize what he's doing. All the same, he shouldn't be consuming too much. It'd be like a colt drinking a whole bottle of wine by himself.
Then what are we waiting for? Where is he again, Doctor?
Rarity asked.
Hold on, girls. Doctor's going to take us there in the blue box,
Ditsy said. I hardly think this is an occasion to move the Tardis less than 3 miles, he said.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun,
Ditsy said, snuggling up to him. The chestnut-colored stallion smiled.
Oh, okay, what the heck? Hang on, ladies. The doctor started pulling levers and pushing buttons at random. The strangest of sounds seemed to come from everywhere, and then as suddenly as it started, it stopped. What, is that it? Rarity asked. Just go out the door, you'll find Spike not far off, the doctor said. Emerald cautiously opened the door and stepped out to find her brother sucking on a small piece of rose quartz. Hey, Amy, what are you doing here? The little dragon shouted. You should really try this stuff. I don't think I've ever tasted gems like this before. We're here to take you home, Spike, Rarity said, walking out of the Tardis behind the dragoness. Spike stared at Rarity for a while. Pretty pony, he said, drawing out the words. Stumbling to his feet, he staggered over to the unicorn, took her head in his hands and kissed her deeply. You are the prettiest, sexiest mare I've ever seen. I mean it. Really, Celestia herself can't hold a candle to you. I love you, Rarity. Rarity was blushing harder than she ever had before. Oh my, I'm sure it's just the crystal speaking, she said as Spike climbed on her back, laying out and hugging her neck.
That's another way dragons differ from ponies, dear, Emerald told her. When a dragon gets inebriated, they drop all pretenses and say exactly what they mean. No false bravado, no understatement of things for the sake of pride or reputation, but the unabashed truth.
So, what you just said?
The unicorn mare asked. The complete and honest truth straight from his little heart, Emerald confirmed.
Oh, Rarity, I'd stroke those perfect flanks of yours all day and night if I thought you'd let me. Okay, time to go home, Rarity announced as she carried the half-asleep dragon into the Tardis. Spike woke the next morning in his room, surrounded by his gems, his sister sleeping on a pile of them in the corner. The small dragon grabbed his head in pain. Ow, 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 why does my head hurt so much? Emerald sat up on the pile of gems she was using as a bed.
Hey, Spike, how's the head?
She yelled. Ow, not so loud, he complained.
That'll teach you, little brother. Never eat quartz unless you're willing to pay for it the next morning,
Emerald told him, a large toothy grin gracing her face. Spike crawled out of bed and started packing gems into a bag.
Hold on now, what are you doing?
I have stuff to do. I need to get these gems to a farm northwest of town,
Spike informed her.
How many of them are you taking and why?
She inquired.
All of them. Well, not all of them. I'm leaving the purple amethysts and diamonds. I'm taking the rest to a friend's home to sell them.
But why? Those gems were from Rarity.
She'll understand. I need the bits and so does she. She just doesn't know it yet. Now, are you going to help me or just sit there and tell me I'm being foolish like every pony else does?
Spike asked her.
I'll help you because this appears to be important to you. But while we're going to the farm, I want a full explanation.
Emerald quietly helped her brother pack up every ruby, every emerald, and every gem with the exception of 2 varieties. She pulled 3 wagons of gems behind her as Spike rode atop her back, directing her to their destination. Top of the morning to you, Spike, my boy.
Doctor, what brings you out this morning?
Spike said as a chestnut-colored stallion with wild, dark brown hair approached the 2 dragons. Just out for a bit morning air with Ditsy and Dinky, he explained.
Hi, Miss Dragon. Hi, Spike. How are you doing this morning?
Dinky asked.
Oh, we're just fine, little one, except for Spike, who's working through a quartz hangover,
Emerald explained. That reminds me, Spike. May I have a word with you? Just a short little chat? The doctor asked.
Sure, no problem, I guess.
Ditsy, why don't you and Dinky go with Emerald? Spike and I will catch up soon, the chestnut stallion suggested.
No problem, Doc,
the grey Pegasus said.
See you later. Come on, Emerald, let's go. By the way, do you like muffins?
The doctor shook his head as the grey mare with blonde mane and tail trotted off next to the dragoness. Her daughter, the little unicorn filly with a mane and tail the same color as her mother, trotted beside her.
That girl and her muffins. I swear, one of these days I'm taking her to Beta Category 4. The people there all look like muffins. Did you know that?
He asked.
Actually, I don't think you told me about that one, Doctor,
Spike said.
Really? I could have sworn I told you about them before. Yeah, muffins. The whole race looks like giant muffins, every variety you can think of. Only problem is they eat everything that gets too close to them, even each other. A bit odd, isn't it? Knowing Ditsy, she'd probably cause their extinction,
Spike said, chuckling. Most likely. Is that what you wanted to talk to me about? Spike asked as they walked along. No, I wanted to talk to you about Rarity. You remember what I told you about me and the Tardis and everything, right? He asked. Yeah, you told me you weren't really a pony like the rest of them, a Time Lord, right? The purple dragon asked. That's right, I'm a Time Lord, the last of the Time Lords actually, and that's what I needed to talk to you about. I just wanted to let you know that you aren't alone. You're not the only man or dragon to fall in love with a pony. You mean you and Ditzy? Really? Spike asked, scratching the scales on his head. Yes, imagine my surprise when it finally occurred to me that I was actually falling in love with her. Me, the Doctor, last of the Time Lords, the veteran of the last great time war, in love with a pony. Funny, isn't it? I guess so, but you're a pony now, so I don't see why that would be a problem. I mean, it's not like you've got ponies saying stuff behind your back. You should hear some of the things some ponies have said about Rarity and me when they thought we couldn't hear them. You mean things like freak, crazy, stupid, things like that? The Doctor asked, staring off into space. Ponies are really saying stuff like that about you? The little dragon asked, concerned. I wish they were saying it about me. I have a thick skin. I can handle it. I hear them saying those things about Ditzy and it really pisses me off. He shouted. They judge her without really taking the time to get to know her. She's such an affectionate, loving, understanding, patient girl. The way she raises her little girl, forget about it. In all of time and space, I've never seen a better mother than her. And what a mind. I tell you what, Spike, you give her enough time and that girl will sink her way through a brick wall. You have any idea how rare that is? The chestnut pony asked him. I guess not. I always thought Ditzy was just a happy mare who didn't let anything bother her. I know Twilight and the others have always liked her, especially Lara and Bonbon. Yes, you and your friends have always been kind to her, with the exception of Rainbow Dash. Oh, she rubs every pony the wrong way from time to time, Spike explained. Yes, well, most ponies only see her as a mare with weird eyes that bumps into things. She doesn't mean to, but they don't care. All they do is point and laugh at her without a thought of how she might feel. So, does Ditzy know how you feel about her? Spike asked. No, or at least I've never said anything. You see, Spike, I can't be romantically involved with her. It wouldn't be fair to her. What if I have to leave and I'm never able to come back? What if I get stuck in a parallel dimension? He said with a sigh. I couldn't do that to her. She deserves better than that. Better than me. I know how you feel. I used to be like that myself. A month back, Princess Luna told me during one of my checkups that it didn't matter what I looked like or the fact that I was a dragon that would most likely outlive Rarity. She said Rarity chose me and no pony else, and that's what matters. Everything else is pointless, Spike informed him. Think about that, Doctor. Think about telling her and consider the possibility that she feels the same way. Hey now, who's supposed to be counseling who? The Doctor said with a smile on his face. Sorry about that. Not at all, old boy. Now what do you say we catch up with the girls before Ditzy talks your sister to death? The Doctor asked, tossing Spike onto his back and galloping down the road.